the Trevor Jackson podcast.
True.
We're gonna since we went to Memphis with Glorilla, we're gonna play the National Guard in Memphis and react to that also because this National Guard conversation, we talked about it a little bit, but it's very interesting that the feds just stopped Trump from sending the National Guard to Portland. He talked about sending them to Chicago. He talking about sending the National Guard against the U.S. citizens all over the place to all the Democratic cities. But I'm gonna read Mama Lisa a comment, and I think she's talking to you. She said, "Water God, I had those brands as well and bought them for my son. The problem is we don't support one another. More about this fake water. I haven't heard about that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta pay attention to the water when you buy it because I got spring water right here. I know this water horrible, but this is
Mm-hmm.
Publix natural spring water. It don't taste like it though.
Right.
I just had I
What it
just got
tastes
it
like.
toilet water. That's what it tastes like.
Right.
And it's hard to go to the store. It's hard to go to the store and buy some good water, fam. To be honest with
I'm telling you.
you, you're getting it in
I'm
a
telling
glass
you.
bottle or something.
Get in a glass bottle. I can respect that, but anything else, it's sketchy, man. It ain't good. But yeah, Mama Lisa, I'm with you with that. But uh, I forget what I was gonna say. You was talking about Memphis. Yeah, the
Let's
National
play.
Guard coming to Memphis. They
Let's
must
play.
don't got the pool like Portland and Chicago got.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think Memphis is a location that is very pivotal to American distribution because it's the middle of
Mm-hmm.
the country. You can get to Cali quick. You can get to New York quick. You can get to Florida quick. You can get to it's direct smack middle of the United States. So I think that they trying to take the land and utilize it. Get the criminals off the street. We can easily access this land. That's another conversation like what we was talking about Israel and Hamas. So, that's just my assumption. I ain't saying that that's what they trying to do because they might be promoting it as they fighting against crime. But this is
But
a location they can utilize.
I'm glad you said that, fighting against crime, because what we know about them with the war on drugs, that fight against crime have different agendas. This is what I think it is, family. I think that crime is going down as far as black people. We be getting bashed over our head and getting hit in these court systems that you a fool if you think you finna be out here doing crime and you ain't finna get bammed. Unless you be a snitch and work for the government. I just think black people are starting to wake up and understand that they could be doing stuff that ain't got to do with crime. Because the statistic of crime is down, but they market it like we just, we are animals. You get what I'm saying in the streets?
I'm gonna tell you something, Water. I ain't saying I disagree with you,
Right.
but I think that the statistics is the Democrats trying to keep their place in power and office.
Could be. Yeah, I get what you're saying. They could be playing with the stats.
I think they playing with the stats so they can maintain their power. But I feel like, from what I heard, it was just a shooting yesterday at a South Carolina HBCU. 3 kids got shot at a concert. It ain't even in the news yet, but I know because I'm located close to it. You know what I'm saying? And they got people heard about it. 3 kids got killed at a HBCU yesterday in South Carolina. The crime, man,
Mm.
is so unbearable right now that I'm lost in the soy sauce. I think it's the financial structure and people struggling is why the crime is so high. I think people are just fighting for their next meal, man. I can't even go to the grocery store without spending $100 on nothing.
But
Gas.
how do you gauge crime is high? Like, what do you bring that off of? For you to feel like, man, crime is crazy right now, it's out of control. What gauge do you gauge that off of?
You know, you got a point there. It because most of the crime that I'm hearing about and thinking about is he say she say. I don't, you know. Where I'm located at, there ain't no crime, fam. Zero crime. So I'm speaking about it and I'm hearing about it and seeing people talk about it, but I'm nowhere near it in the real world. So
Right. So I'm saying like this, look, because rarely people are seeing crime. They hear about it, but rarely we, you know what I'm saying, we are actually witnessing the crimes. You know what I'm saying? So for people to say, man, crimes is so crazy right now out in the world, are we speaking from something that we're seeing, or are we speaking from something that we hearing?
you
Get
know,
what I'm saying?
they got us programmed, fam, or they got me programmed. I'm gonna say that because
Right.
the promotion of crime, the promotion of these people on these platforms speaking about black fatigue, the promotion of Chicago, Memphis, and the stuff that they saying is going on in these places. I remember when they was talking about Jacksonville a few years ago and people smoking on ops and all of this old stuff. It's the promotion of it, but it's not in our face like that though. That's what I think. Let's play the video, Water, and then
No, I'm with you.
continue the conversation because this is a good one.
Breaking news that the National Guard is in Memphis as part of a federal crackdown on crime. Our Jordan James is there as well with a closer look at what to expect and how neighbors are responding.
After much anticipation, the National Guard has joined several agencies here in Memphis to fight crime, a task which has left an entire community on high alert. With helicopters hovering,
these are challenging times,
and officers lining the roads.
It's a damn shame. I'm just going to be honest.
Memphis residents are on alert as a crime crackdown is underway, leading to the presence of the National Guard.
I don't think it is a good position to put us in or the government in to have the military come in and use military tactics against its own citizens.
They're among 13 federal and state agencies currently operating. Since Monday, at least 53 people have been arrested. Brandon B. Porter, a local pastor, supports the initiative.
The National Guard are not here to harass law-abiding citizens. They're here to deal with crime and other issues that disrupt the living here in the city of Memphis. And so don't ride dirty.
The National Guard has been deputized, but are not expected to be armed to make arrests. With their presence likely to grow in the coming days, concerns remains for a city that's seen its fair share of challenges.
We'll make this something that we can learn from and get through.
This is not the end. This is, again, we got a lot of bumpy roads, so this is just another bump in the road.
At this point, no timeline has been given as for how long this operation will be in place. Governor Bill Lee previously said that success looks like to him Memphis being safer. Reporting here in Memphis, Jordan James, WSMB4.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi are also in Memphis. Bondi says they'll charge anyone who touches a police officer with assault. Meanwhile, Hegseth says the National Guard will be providing security for law enforcement to allow them to safely do their jobs.
Our department is here to enable you, law enforcement, to do your job, to help protect your facilities, help protect your people so that your hands can be untied.
We are going to work hand in hand to make the most violent crime city in the country have no crime.
Hegseth says President Trump will be following the data and progress of the law enforcement in Memphis.
They coming down there talking tough too, ain't they, boy?
They is, ain't they?
You know, have you ever lived in a Republican city before or a Democrat? Have you ever lived in both cities, like Democrat city, Republican city? I'm gonna tell you something I noticed though.
I lived in Broward County. I lived in Daytona Beach. I don't know the city, Jacksonville, New York. I lived in New Orleans. I don't know if those are Democrat or Republican ran city, huh?
Lived in all Democrat cities.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna tell you something. I'm originally from Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a Republican city, and I lived in other cities. I lived in are Democrat cities. You know, you can commit crime in Knoxville, but boy, you know, it's police on every corner. You fought too loud, they're gonna smell it. You know what I'm saying? That's how many police it is. And in the other cities I lived in, it's like lenient. Like it seems as if they might need some assistance. And I ain't saying the National Guard or whatever. It's just like it seems as if the police departments are understaffed. When you ride around where you located at, and how often do you see like me being in Charlotte, fam? I might not see the police for 2 weeks, not one car.
Mm. It did you say that? Growing up in the Miami metropolitan area, right? We got Broward County and we got Miami-Dade County.
Mm-hmm.
Miami-Dade County is so lenient, bro. You can do what you can ride around with AKs and you won't get pulled over. It's
Wow.
like, but when you cross that line and you go to Broward, it's like they're not playing.
They thick.
They thick, they deep, they driving around, they got the money, their cars are new. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They got all the equipment. The Miami police, it's like they don't even have new cars. You get what I'm saying? It's like I don't know what it is, but I'm with you. It's like I done stayed in cities where the police don't play, and I done stayed in the cities to where it's like, man, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So especially in Florida.
Yeah. When I think of Memphis, man, the first time I ever went to Memphis, this is when I ate meat before I was a vegan. And it shocked me too, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I pulled up to Church's Chicken and ordered 2-piece dog. I remember it like it was yesterday. And before I pulled up to the window, the girl said, "What you want, nigga?" That's what she said at the drive-thru. And I was like, "Damn, this is a different culture here. This shit different." You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you was in Memphis.
Yeah, when I pulled up to the drive-thru, she didn't say how your
Mm.
day doing, what you want to order. She said, "What you want, nigga?" Before I even said a word. And I just ordered my food and ate it. And I don't
Did
know.
she say it in a way like, man, what you want, nigga? Or what you want, nigga? Or like, you get what I'm saying? Like, because you can say that two different ways. What you want, my nigga? In the streets. But I don't want to know that I took it the wrong way. How did you take it that she said to you like what you want, nigga? Like frustrated. Like, what you driving up here for?
I don't know. It was cute to me, to be honest with you, because it was something that I wasn't used to though. And
Right. So you just
Memphis,
like,
what the hell going on? It's different. Like this shit crazy. But when you think of Memphis and the city, I don't want to talk bad about the city, but when I think about it, their biggest bragging rights was how bad the crime was there and their culture.
so you mean when you from Nashville, right? And somebody from Memphis,
Hmm.
how do they look at y'all, somebody from Memphis and somebody from Nashville?
That's
How
a
do
to-
they
that's two totally different worlds, fam. But I'm
right?
from
But I'm saying,
Knoxville. I'm from the
oh,
whole other
Knoxville,
side.
whatever. Yeah, I'm saying though, like Knoxville or whatever is close to Memphis. Like you saying that Memphis, they get credit for the crime and it's wild there.
Hmm.
So do they look at it because New York was like that too? Like if you in Memphis or if you in the five boroughs of New York, they consider everything outside of that is nothing. Like, oh, they ain't.
Yeah, they from Syracuse. They nothing.
Yeah. Do Memphis feel like that about everybody in Tennessee? Because we know about Memphis, right? Like when we think of Tennessee, it's like Memphis come to our minds. Is that like that in Tennessee?
To me, my perception, Memphis don't even consider themselves a city. Memphis is the state. That's a state. And the rest
Dang.
of Tennessee is just Tennessee. But Memphis is
Right.
their own little state. That's how they view themselves. They ain't even connected with y'all lame ass niggas over there in Chattanooga, Nashville, and Knoxville. We ain't even connected with y'all. We a whole totally different world. When you think of hip hop artists and what's being embraced in Tennessee, also from the black community, it's Memphis. They don't even consider us, you know what I'm saying, like them over there. We ain't even in the same state or nothing like that.
That's
Mm.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I just feel like, uh it's just interesting. I don't know what the full play is of why they sending the National Guards to Memphis. I know Memphis is super crime ridden, but it's something going on because I heard Elon Musk is investing billions of dollars into Memphis also, and he's bringing like Starlink and his links and stuff down there. his technology and his, he bringing stuff down there, and I feel like it's a neutral area, and it could be bigger than just getting crime.
You know it's a Memphis. You know it's a Memphis over there in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Memphis. They tried to duplicate our Mississippi River. What do we call that? The Nile. What they say, that's the Nile over there. But if you look in the book, our Mississippi River actually explains everything that the Nile is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be covering this on my show where I tell people that this might be the ancient land. You know what I mean?
I got a partner that told me that was the original Nile River, and Memphis is the original Egypt, because that's
exactly. Yeah. I don't want to get too deep into it. I know that ain't the subject, but we got to touch back on that on another show, man.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.